Yay Networks.
Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, not solo this week. I am with my husband over the phone. This is my podcast co-host and my husband of 9 years, Alan Evans.
A train in the house.
Nope, in the car.
I'm on Interstate 45, babe.
A train in the car.
Yeah, I don't want to be here, but, I have to be here, and I think we're going to talk about why I have to be here.
Yes, because we're recording this on our anniversary, and we are not together.
No, and I'm not super happy about that.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is
Right.
what some people say.
Right.
Yeah.
But we will get to that. But happy anniversary, honey.
Yes, happy anniversary. 9 years.
9 years. Next year's the big 1-0. Maybe for the 10th anniversary, we can plan to do something together.
Yes, well, don't diminish the ninth. Let's not look over the ninth. I think we had a wonderful time last night. We celebrated
early.
I think we'll talk about that a little bit too. Yeah, went out for a nice dinner at this place called Trick Rider,
Yeah.
new steakhouse.
Yep.
And what'd you think?
I thought it was wonderful. I love trying something new, and it turns out to be wonderful, and that was everything. We were supposed to go out for our anniversary dinner tonight, but as you can tell, Alan's not here. So we changed plans and moved everything up 24 hours, and, it's fine. I'm not mad at all. It's just, the way life works out. As long as we got to celebrate, that's all that mattered.
Yeah, it was great. The food was great. The steak was great. Our server, he recognized us, I guess, because we had seen him before. He had helped us before at Albernay's.
Yes, he said he'd been up at this new restaurant for about 3 years, and I was honestly shocked because I didn't even know this place was in existence until last week. So it was a new fun place to try. But yeah, up in the PGA, the Omni PGA Frisco, I think that's how you pronounce it, where we did the little steak. Well, you and Dylan did the little staycation last week. You knew they had a nice steakhouse. And I said, well, why don't we go for our anniversary? And that's what we did.
Yeah, and I'd like to tell everybody, our good, strong, dear, sweet, clean listeners, about that little mini vacation, staycation with Dylan. But I have to address the elephant in the room.
What?
And that's, why am I on a speakerphone on Interstate 45 headed to Houston?
Oh, you want to get that out of the way first?
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way because, this is obviously different. I don't think I gypped the listener last week, but I wasn't on the podcast. How did it go? Better?
I had some people reach out to me and say they enjoyed it. Because I just got to talk about things I normally wouldn't talk about with you because you're not interested. So it was just me prattling on, about Love Island and things like that. So, I mean, it was fine. Exactly. That's why I don't do it when you're with me. So I got, a chance. Maybe I should do more solo episodes because they were so enjoyable for me.
Love Island puts the L in lewd.
Well, it is pretty lewd, but it's interesting. And, it's something that my daughter and I can talk about. And she'd like, to watch more episodes with me. But now that she's a working woman and she gets home from work later, I can't really always watch it with her. But, man, she gets really upset with me on some of my opinions aren't the same as hers. She's 19, and she's like, you can't tell me you weren't like that when you were in your early 20s. I said, well, I was never in that position. And I'm sure I was much more, emotional and volatile and stuff when I was in my early 20s. But she has to remember, I didn't really even have boyfriends until I was older. So I had a very delayed dating life. But I'm also looking back on this stuff through the lens of a 59-year-old woman. And so she wants to get all mad and upset with me. I'm like, Emma Kelly, we don't even know these people. But, I have my opinions on the way some things are being handled. She has her opinions, and it is what it is. It does give us stuff to talk about, so I do like that we have, that she's actually interested in talking to me. That's good.
Couple of things. Number one, I was never lewd in my early 20s. This is where you hit the crickets button, babe.
Oh, let me find it. Is it? Okay, there's that.
Never mind.
Oh, I just hit it. I hit it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now I'm going to pot it down because it just lasts forever.
Pot it down, babe.
I did.
And then number 2, why is Zonut all wound up? What's going on?
You could hear her?
Yeah.
Oh, she's outside the door. There must have been somebody walking by. I don't know. I didn't think you could hear her. She's out there. I fed her right before I called you. You know, I hate to lock them up. But it's okay. It's only distracting to you.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Good, strong, dear, sweet, clean listener. Kelly and I are going to Mexico. All right?
Are we? Are we?
Well, I think we are. Our flight is scheduled to leave Friday morning, and that's the day after tomorrow as we record this. Very early in the morning. It's a pretty early, 8:30 flight or whatever. We're going to be in Mexico. We're going to the Valentin Imperial. We've talked about that a gazillion times over the years. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag should be an ad. Hashtag should be a sponsor, but whatever.
They don't need our help.
They don't need our help. We love it there. That's where we're going. We're going to go park our big rear ends on the beach and sleep and drink and eat and listen to the ocean and read.
That's the plan.
That's probably what we're going to do. Yeah,
that's the plan.
So, as you would do on a international trip, you would begin to gather your things and start to pack maybe a few days before, 2 or 3 days before. And one of the things you need when you go on an international trip is a passport. Not only do you need a passport, you need a passport that is valid, which means you need a passport that hasn't expired.
Right.
Yes. So yesterday, I was taking the passports out of the safe to prepare for the trip, and I just lay them on the desk, close the safe, and I just thought, I'll just check my passport just to make sure everything's cool, and I open it up. Date of issue, March 2016. Date of expiration, March of 2026.
Yeah.
And you know how you get that feeling in your stomach that like empty, like your stomach is dropping, like that like you feel like you're going to faint.
Yes.
That feeling in your chest,
Yes.
Like the room starts spinning. Like, what is happening?
Yes. Wait, I should have done. Oh, you don't have a gasping sound effect. That's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have very many on this Mickey Mouse podcast.
Maybe we should get some new ones.
But yeah, we have like 6, and I haven't switched them out in 9 years. But anyway, so I thought what would be the best thing to do was immediately call Kelly and then start the conversation with, I have the worst news ever, which probably that's not true, but I was feeling very dramatic in the moment.
Well, it was in the moment. I was at the nail salon, Polo Nails, which we love, getting my mani-pedi because you have to do that. There's a process when you get ready to go out of town for a woman.
They love me there too. They
love you more than me. But, I have to get my wax. I have to get my nails done. Then I get my spray tan, because if you do the spray tan before either of those other 2 things, you'll rip off your spray tan or wash it off during the pedicure. So I was doing it in order. So yesterday was mani-pedi day. I was just literally wrapping up when Alan calls me. And, I had this whole list of things I was going to do. And he says, the worst thing possible has happened. I'm like, oh, what? But he didn't sound like he was about to cry. So I knew nobody had died, but I didn't know what was wrong. I did not imagine that he was about to tell me his passport was expired. So there was a moment of panic. You are going to love Legacy Box. Becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood. They're trapped on VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "Do Not Throw Away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Legacy Box now. They're the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family, because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And you know, a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their brilliant eye brightener and Stella champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shanda Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon, it's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose Kaisa color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite, it's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor-recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day, that food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3dayblinds.com/sandwich. But and you were, upset. I said, well, you said come home. Basically, we got to figure this out. Come home. We got to figure this out.
Yeah, and I know you were online trying to do a little research. There are apparently pay-to-play services where if you need a passport quickly, they'll help you with that. They'll do it for you. So that was just my
I Googled
Yeah.
that really quick, and I also Googled, is this a safe, reliable service? And it said yes, so I sent that to you. And then as I was driving home to you, which is about a 10-minute drive from where we get our nails done, I thought, I need to call people that I bet have been in this exact same situation before. Because we're not the first this has happened to. So the first person I called was our finance guy, Dan Sullivan. I don't know why.
We love Dan. Love Dan Sullivan.
We do. I just had this feeling that him and his family, they travel a lot. I'm like, I bet he's been in this predicament before. And guess what? I was right. It happened to him and his teenage son. So he told me there's a way you can go down to the federal courthouse. He said there's one in Dallas, but sometimes you can't get in there. His son had to fly to El Paso. I was like, okay, well, there's, an option there. They said, but you can get it. You can get it that same day. But the big problem is you got to get an appointment. Okay, Dan, let me hang up. Well, I also called Boss Man George. And guess what? I was 2 for 2. Boss Man George also had been in that exact same predicament. He told me there was also, he patched in his wife. We did a 3-way. Not in a lewd kind of way, but we did a 3-way call, and she's the one that talked me through it. She goes, yes, courthouse, Dallas, described the building, told me where to park, everything, but got to have that appointment. So by the time I walk in the door, Alan is he's just in the thick of trying to get this online service that I connected him to. And
Verge of tears?
You weren't at that point on the verge of tears, but you were highly stressed at that very moment.
I was pretty wound up.
You were wound up, but you were on the laptop. You were trying to figure it out. And I said, hey, forget that service. I've talked to Boss Man and Dan. They've got a better way. You were like, no, I've already started this process. I've already put down my credit card. I'm going to follow this through. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. Was I the voice of calm and serenity?
100% the voice of calm and serenity, and I gave you much respect and kudos for that, because I was not the voice of calm and serenity. I was talking to this guy on this website, this service, and I'd already put down my $750 to make this happen.
Whew.
And then he told me, well, we can get you your passport on July the 9th.
Well, honey, you have to also say,
I said, sir, I told you I am traveling July the 3rd. And I said, this is not going to work for me.
And that's not what they advertised on their website.
Right. So he said, well, we can refund the $700. And I'm like, refund me the $700. I'll figure this out.
You were very lucky.
Hang up the phone with him. Okay. So then I've got the information now that Kelly got me from Dan Sullivan and Boss Man George, and they were right. There are federal buildings in Dallas. The federal building in Dallas is where you go to get an emergency passport. Now, here's what I've learned. They were exactly right. Those federal buildings, you can make an appointment online, and if you are within 14 days of travel, those appointments will appear online. Okay, so I go online to look up the appointments at the federal building in Dallas, and there were no appointments.
Wonk, wonk.
So I expanded my search. There were no appointments in Houston, Oklahoma. There were no appointments in El Paso.
Arkansas.
There were no Arkansas. There were no appointments anywhere.
Because you would have flown like a Southwest airline flight. You would have done that, because this is like we've booked this vacation. There is no getting our money back. You have to get this passport thing done.
Yeah, and this was yesterday, so I am 2 days out from needing a passport. So there's a little number on the government website that says call this number if you need more assistance. And at this point, I've resigned to the fact that, you know what, I'm not going. We're not going. There's no way this is going to happen.
We're not going.
Yeah, I'm not going. So I call the number, and it was like, I don't know if angel is the right word, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised with the level of compassion and service that I got from this person.
Listen, I was praying, and I think that was an angel. That was an answer to prayer.
But this guy, he told me, he said, so when you go online, what you're seeing are the appointments at the federal buildings for 14 days and less. What you can't see are the emergency appointments that are 3 days and less. Like, those don't appear online. So the only way for you to know about those appointments is to call us. And he said, where do you live? And I said, I'm in the Dallas area. I'm in Plano. He goes, well, let me check. And he's on the computer. Said, there's none in Arkansas. There's none in Oklahoma. He said, there's one appointment in Houston at 8 a.m. on Thursday. And he said, when are you traveling? I said, Friday. He said, are you willing to go to Houston? And I said, yes, sir. Sign me up. What do I do? And he said, I'm going to send you an email. There's a list of things you got to take down to Houston. And at 8 a.m., you show up on time. They will call you. And he didn't guarantee anything, but he said, most likely they can help you, whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, I guess, well, it's like Bossman said, before you go down there, make sure you don't have any outstanding tickets. No, he said that. I said, I know he doesn't. He's like, well, just make sure. He said, trust me on that. No outstanding tickets. So maybe that's why he was saying that. But since I talked about this, I've had people reach out to me. And one person said, yeah, it happened to my father-in-law. He got there again, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he had his passport by 2. And then you talked to your dad, my father-in-law, and you said it only took him about 15 minutes when he was in this same predicament, right?
Same thing happened to him. He was going to go, and I remember this, but I didn't connect the dots.
Not when you were in a panic situation, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago, my sister and her husband took my mom and dad on a Disney cruise, and my dad knew he didn't have it. He knew he didn't have a valid passport. It had expired, but his assumption was, "Oh, I'm getting on a cruise ship. I've got a military ID. They're going to let me on." Well, it turns out the cruise he was on, you have to have a passport to go to the Bahamas. So he made an appointment down at the building in Dallas, and I drove him down there. This was like 5 years ago. And he was able, like Kelly said, he was able to get his passport, he said, in 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I guess it's just a crapshoot, but I feel confident you will get it before the close of business on Thursday. If not, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So that's the reason I'm on Interstate 45. I'm driving. I thought about riding down here, but I've ridden in hot weather, but it is so hot, and Houston isn't exactly like a destination to ride to,
Yeah.
Especially where I'm going, which is downtown Houston.
Yeah.
I'm staying at like a Best Western, and then the federal building is like half a mile away. So I think it's just easier for me to drive.
Well, Alan thought about getting up and leaving at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, absolutely not, because there's no telling if there is a traffic jam, an accident, diverting traffic, and you're not there on time, you are screwed. So we made the decision for him to go down there and spend the night. I think that's the smartest move to make, which is why instead of going to our anniversary dinner tonight, we went last night.
Yeah, and I told Kelly, I said, look, tomorrow, if you receive a picture of a passport in my hand, 2 thumbs up. If you don't hear from me all day, I'm just driving home, and you probably won't hear from me like all day.
No, that's not fair. You need to tell me what's going on. But I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I think it will be. So, so that's that. That's the adventure I'm on right now. I wanted to just mention real quick one thing about our anniversary dinner last night. Excuse me. Usually I have a cocktail, a special occasion. I usually have an old fashioned or a Manhattan.
Right.
But I told the server last night, I said, it's so freaking hot outside. I don't really want to a whiskey drink. I want something that's a little more refreshing. And he said, how about a paper airplane? And I was like, excuse me? He said, a paper airplane. He said, it's a bourbon drink, but I think you'll like it because it's refreshing. And I said, sure, I'll try one. Babe, off the chain. It was outstanding. I had 2 of them.
Well,
they were so good.
You took the first sip and you weren't sure. I think because your mouth didn't know what to expect.
It was very sweet, but then I could start tasting the kind of the sour bitter, which I like.
Yeah.
But it's called a paper airplane. It's got bourbon in it. It's got some bitters and some other liqueurs. And it is garnished with like a lemon twist. And he asked me, are you okay with this in a martini glass? And I was like, why would I not be okay with this in a martini glass?
I think because it appeared, he offered to put it like in a rocks glass or something, I guess, because that would be more masculine. But you don't care.
I don't care.
You don't care.
At this point in my life, I don't care.
I had my martini. Oh, and I got a martini, and the one I ordered came with a side of caviar. I was like, whoa, that was a surprise. I had no idea, but I was trying to live outside the box a little. So I had that while you had your paper airplane. So we both had some first time experiences.
Yeah, the paper airplane was great. And your martini was in a very retro, the presentation was really cool there. It was. Put Kellie's martini in this retro, like 30s, 40s style martini glass. It was served on a tray.
Yeah, served on a tray with a spoon with the caviar in it, and then like a little miniature, almost like an ice bucket for the rest of my martini. You know, it was really just a lovely, lovely presentation. If you're looking for a special occasion, but you know what, the people in there very casually dressed because it's a golf course. You know, and people are coming in. I saw somebody wearing a backward baseball cap because this is the way it is in Dallas Fort Worth. You can go to these nice places and. There you go.
Yeah, resort casual.
Resort casual, yeah. But I tried to get a little dressed up for you, honey. I wore a red dress. I thought it was nice.
Oh yeah, you look beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I actually tucked my shirt in, so yeah, we dressed up.
A little bit.
So, do I have a minute to just talk about some of the highlights of the staycation?
You have all the time you want, honey.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you said you were going to talk. You were going to talk about your time with Dylan.
Because we had some good stories come out of this. There was a BOTA story, which I'll get to in a minute. But we were a couple of podcasts ago. You may remember we did a podcast from the PGA headquarters. There was a studio there, and the city of Frisco asked us to do a podcast there, and we did. It had a great time and talked about the World Cup and a little bit about the resort. But as we finished that podcast, we were just talking to a wonderful woman. Her name is Kellie as well. And she works for the city of Frisco. And she said, hey, if you and your son ever want to come back or come here, I know he loves golf. We have a par 3 course. We have a 100,000 square foot putting green that's lit. We have the resort, beautiful pool and cabana and all this, and 2 beautiful golf courses. And I was like, that sounds right up Dylan's alley. Let me talk to the Dillster, see what he thinks about a staycation. So of course I mentioned it to him, and he said, Dad, yes, I'd love to do that. Let's do that. So what ended up happening was we got 2 days, a lot of it courtesy of the city of Frisco, but we got 2 days at the resort. And then I made reservations or a tee time to play the Fields Ranch East course, which is where they're going to play the PGA Championship next year, which is, if you're a golfer, that's a really big deal. And especially if you're a 13-year-old golfer, it's a really, really big deal. Part of the reason is to play that course, you have to have a caddy and you have to walk. Like you don't ride, you walk the course, and because you walk, they assign a caddy to you. Now you pay for the caddy and you tip the caddy, But yeah, it's as close to an experience of a pro without being the pro, you know?
Right. And it was also a million degrees.
Oh my.
Now that I've reached a certain age, I realize how much my sleep affects me and everybody around me. It affects my energy, my mood, my patience. And I've also learned that I don't need to waste a lot on fancy sleep gadgets because one of the best things I've done is upgrade to Boll and Branch sheets. I noticed the difference from night one. They are incredibly soft, so breathable. It's because Boll and Branch's sheets are made with 100% organic cotton that's woven specifically for airflow. Now I don't wake up feeling hot with sheets sticking to my legs anymore. My sheets keep me cool and comfortable all night long. And they've actually gotten softer with every wash. They even did a survey of their customers. 94% of them said the same thing. I love my Boll and Branch sheets, and honestly, I can't imagine ever going back to any other bedding. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/sandwich with code SANDWICH. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/sandwich. Code SANDWICH to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/sandwich, code SANDWICH. Exclusions apply. I think everybody's had that moment where they say, I should start my own business. Now, maybe you've got an amazing hot sauce recipe, or you've gotten really great at making candles or jewelry, and all your friends keep telling you you should sell that stuff. Well, what's stopping you? If you've been sitting on a business idea, Shopify makes it easy to make it happen. Everything you need to start selling is included and ready from day one. When your first customer is ready to buy, Shopify checkout helps more people actually complete the purchase. And when they come back, their information's already saved. So checkout is quick and easy. One tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the technical stuff too, the setup and checkout, so you can spend your time growing your business and doing what you actually love. It's no wonder Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses just getting started like yours. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/sandwich. That's shopify.com/sandwich. One more time, shopify.com/sandwich. I love a good go-to uniform, especially during summer. Pieces I wear on repeat because they're comfortable, they're versatile, and classic, which is why I love Quince, because they make elevated essentials that never go out of style using premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, washable silk, lightweight, effortless, and with prices starting at just $32. Because they work directly with ethical factories and skip the middleman, everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. I've been wearing my lightweight cotton cashmere cardigan on repeat. Perfect for restaurants that blast the AC, or I just throw it over my shoulders when the sun goes down. But Quince isn't just clothes. They've also got elevated essentials for the home, beauty and wellness, travel, jewelry too. I've got my eye on a pair of 14-karat gold hoops right now. Make your summer wardrobe a whole lot easier. Go to quince.com/sandwich for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/sandwich for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sandwich.
It was very, very warm all week, but we just had the best time, babe. I've told Kelly all the stories, but we swam in the pool at night after being at this beautiful driving range all day. All Dylan wanted to do was practice and hit balls and putt on the putting green and then go get a sandwich at one of the great restaurants. And it was just really great. And the highlight of the week was going to play the East Course with the caddies. My caddy's name was Joseph, and Dylan's caddy's name was Lane. And just the nicest young guys. They're probably in their 20s, and that's their full-time job. That's what they do. But I had never had a caddy before. It was really cool because they tell you like a little bit about the course, where to hit it, what the putts are going to do. And then they also told us some cool stories about some celebrities they had caddied for, which I thought was really neat. My caddy had caddied for Dak a few times, and Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Cowboys. And he said, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but he said, I've met Dak and I've caddied for him. I've spent hours with him. And he said, he is the nicest guy.
That's
and I
good
don't
to
even
hear.
like the Cowboys.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. he said he's not a great golfer, but he is so nice. And
Don't be telling Dax business about his golfing game.
Yeah, I just loved caddying for him. So I thought that was cool. He had caddy for some other celebrities that I've not heard of, but you probably know who they are.
And that because you haven't heard of them, you won't remember their names.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
you men are the worst.
Yeah, I know. But that was really fun. So okay, let me quickly tell the BOTA story. And I just want to preface this story by saying the week was so great. Everyone at the resort was wonderful, friendly. Anytime you needed something, you had it. Everyone was just very nice, and the experience was 100% top notch. Okay. So one of the days, Dylan and I are practicing, and to access the practice area there, you have to be a guest of the resort, and you have to also, to access the chipping and putting green, the private ones, you have to have a tee time at the course. So there are little private areas where people who are staying at the resort or who are playing golf on the Fields Ranch courses, they can go. Okay. So Dylan and I are over there just practicing one day. We're chipping on one of the private chipping greens. And there are marshals that are around there. If you don't know much about golf, there are these guys called marshals, and they ride around in golf carts. They make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. They make sure people are starting at the right time and blah, blah, blah. They just kind of patrol the golf course. They're not police. They're just called marshals, a golf marshal.
They're supervisors.
So yeah. So we're over there chipping, and a marshal sees us, and he comes stomping over there to me and Dylan. And I'm looking at him like, why is he stomping over here to me?
With attitude.
Doesn't say hello. Says, are you two together? I'm like, yes, sir. That's my son. He's like, oh. Are you staying at the resort? I said, yes, sir, we are. For 2 days. So we kind of, it's starting to kind of, I think what he thought was we were just schmoes that were over there in the private area, and he was getting ready to boot us out of there.
Yeah, because you didn't look like you belonged.
Right. Heavily tattooed with a 13-year-old.
Right.
And then his last question was, do you have a tee time? And I said, yes, sir, we have a tee time tomorrow on the East Course. And then he starts to kind of back off a little bit. He's like, oh, okay. Now, here's the part that it blew my mind. I'm like, what? He then says, hey, why don't y'all do me a favor and go pick up all those balls over there on that other green? And my head kind of turned to the side like the dog whistle, and Dylan's looking at me, and the marshal's looking at me, and my head's kind of turned to the side. And I could have been massive A-train BOTA at this point. Big problem pops, which is what Dylan calls me. Big problem pops. I could have been BPP or BOTA AE or BOTA A-train. But the guy says, do me a favor and pick up those balls over there. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
But that's not your job.
And then he just walks off.
So he couldn't chastise you. So then he got you to do someone else's job.
I just keep thinking about this, and I'm thinking, you give some guys a clipboard and a badge, and they think that they kind of run the place. It's called the Wyatt Earp syndrome.
No, I hadn't heard of that.
Have you not like people that you give a badge, not a policeman, but a person that you give a badge and some authority? Sometimes they feel like they're Wyatt Earp and they got to tell everybody what to do.
I never heard it called that. I just thought it was I've always just known that you give somebody who doesn't have a lot of power in life that clipboard, and suddenly they feel powerful and they want to exert it as much as they can.
Yeah, it's the Wyatt Earp syndrome. So what blew my mind, babe, and the best way I can explain this is we didn't ship those balls on the green. They were there when we got there.
Do you think he thought you did, maybe? But even if you did, that's not your job to clean them up.
Right. Even if I did, it doesn't matter. He, as an employee of the resort, is talking to me, a guest of the resort, and he said, hey, do me a favor. And I'm thinking, are you out of your mind? And I didn't say anything because I didn't want Dylan to he was having a good time, right? So I didn't say one word.
So you made Dylan pick him up?
No, I went over there and picked him up.
Oh, well, that was nice of you.
Afterwards, after I cooled off, I was talking to Dylan about it. And even Dylan said, why did he ask you to go pick up those balls? He said, we didn't ship those. And I said, well, I don't know, bud. It would be like eating at a restaurant and then a server comes over and says, hey, can you do me a favor and clean up this mess? Yeah. It was just weird. I don't even know how to, it was just kind of strange. I don't know. I don't know. I think he was ready to kick us out of there. And then he realized, whoops, I've made a mistake. These are people who are staying here. Now I'm going to save some face by making them go pick up.
By making them work.
I don't know.
I guess it made sense in his head. I don't know.
So anyway, that was the BOTA match. Dylan said, I said there was going to be a big problem. There could have been a big problem. And then he started calling me Big Problem Pops, BPP. So I have another new nickname, BPP.
You needed another one.
Yes.
What's my nickname? Yes. What does Dylan call me behind my back? Kelly.
Kelly Raspberry Evans. He kind of says it like that sometimes.
Yeah. That's cute. At least he didn't call me Big Problem Stepmom. All right. You also wanted to talk about, we talked about, your BOTA story. Oh, you said you wanted to talk about the golf shop with Dylan.
I guess I could.
I don't know. I know this story, and I'm just appalled.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Are you sure you want to tell it?
Yeah. So we had, Dylan was with us for 2 weeks, and just about every single day we were doing something golf related because Dylan is in the golf mode now. He's got the golf bug. Soccer's on hold for the summer, so he is 100% all in on golf. I took him to Plano Municipal, which is called Pecan Hollow, to play twice. We went to Firewheel and Garland. We played. I took him out to Cowboys Club, which, by the way, was awesome, outstanding. They were so nice to Dylan there. They gave him a back tag with his name on it, and just really, really nice guys out there and gals out there. But we had a good time playing Cowboys Club, and then we went to Frisco. So I've kind of not been doing my diet lately. Been eating out a lot. I've told Kristen, I said, Kristen, I'm off the rails. And she goes, I get it. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy your time with Dylan. We'll hit it hard when you get back from Cancun. Okay. And I'm like, okay. So I've been eating a lot of stuff. So Dylan and I were in the golf shop the other day, and my stomach wasn't feeling so good. So I kind of walk away from Dylan, and I'm standing by this little area where there's golf clubs. I'm just looking at him, trying to pretend like my stomach isn't gurgling. I mean, I had to let one. So I let one, but it was quiet. Okay. So then I just got to go about my business and keep looking at the clubs. I'm like, God almighty.
Oh, you were offending yourself.
That was awful. Yeah, that'd bring a tear to a glass eye, is what some people would say. Yeah. So I walk over to Dylan and I'm like, Dylan, I wouldn't go over there for a while. And he was only like 10 feet from me. And he's like, Dad, what did you do? And I said, I'm sorry. And he's like, did you have too much coffee or something? I'm like, I don't know. So I walk away, like 20 feet away. Well, he keeps looking kind of where he is. Well, this total stranger walks by Dylan, and he looks at Dylan, and he kind of makes a face. The man pulls his shirt over his face.
Oh, God. And he thinks it's Dylan?
Yes. And then he runs away.
Oh, poor Dill.
Quickly walks away. And Dylan's looking at the guy like, I didn't do it. But he never ratted me out. He never ratted his dad out.
That's a good sign.
He just kind of shrugged his shoulders like, yeah, it wasn't me. Like, he just was like, it wasn't me. So, yeah, that was the golf shop story. Now, Dylan is reminding me all the time, like, Dad, what? Do you remember the guy that saw me and then he pulled his shirt over his face because it was so bad?
So offensive.
I'm sorry, buddy.
So offensive.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. I just was having, one of my problems.
Gastrointestinal distress.
Yeah, a little bit of distress.
Yeah.
Kind of like I am now trying to get my passport. Very distressed.
Well, we're just going to all pray. By the time the podcast hits the airwaves, hopefully you will have passport in hand. So that's the prayer. So, but things so far so good. I think it'll all work out, and we'll be hopefully on the beach in Mexico this weekend, not having too much seaweed to deal with. I'm afraid that's going to be a little bit problematic, but it'd still be nice just to get out of town, and we're going to both catch up on some sleep, because we've been running on fumes. I threw that. Oh, I didn't say I threw the baby shower for people. People listen to the Kid Craddock Morning Show for. I've been
nationally
there.
Syndicated.
Yeah, I've been there 32 years. The day I started, there was a woman there that did a segment called Shopping with Shanda. And it was a huge deal in Dallas.
Huge.
Yeah, she wrote books. She would take shopping at like groups on shopping tours. She had all these best deals. I mean, it was really a big deal. And when her daughter was born, she said, would you be okay if I used your niece Rylee's name? I was like, no, that's great. So she named her daughter Rylee, not after my niece Rylee, but she just loved the name. And so now her daughter Rylee is expecting her baby. And so I said, I called dibs on a shower. So I hosted the baby shower. I had my friend Susan, who I've been trying to push and encourage and motivate her to start a catering business because she's such a great cook. So I had her do the shower for me. I think she's calling her, I think it's called Smallish Bites. Smallish Bites. Yeah, you can follow her on Instagram.
Best cookies ever.
Great cookies.
Best cookies ever.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we did a biscuit bar. Everybody was like, those are the best biscuits. My mother was asking her for the recipe. Everybody's asking her for the recipe. She did savory butters to go with them. There was like a chili one, a hot honey one. There was a sweet one. It was just all so good with ham as well, and did some melon and fruit. That was nice. And then as a surprise to everybody, including the mommy-to-be, I had the Mr. Softy ice cream truck come by, and everybody got to pile outside. I told Susan, I said, don't make your famous cookies. Well, she did do the little like going away dippers. They're like these miniature chocolate chip cookies you dip in frosting, which is really good. She had those as all everybody's going away gift. But we all went outside, and Mr. Softy was there. And you could order whatever you wanted. There was milkshakes and soft serve and sundaes and a lot. The big player, people were getting a cup of soft serve vanilla with Fruity Pebbles sprinkles. That was a big player. And
wow.
Yeah, my mama got a strawberry sundae. We just had a great time. And you can rent that. You can have it come out to if you're having a birthday party or, a graduation party, maybe a wedding reception. I think that's so fun. Like you have the guests after they're dancing and hot, say, everybody go outside and get some Mr. Softy. That's fun. They do block parties and stuff like that. And she's so sweet. She said, if anybody wants to book the Mr. Softy truck, that if you just say my name, Kelly Raspberry, she'll waive the $50 booking fee. And it's really very reasonable to have her come out. So she's got, she covers the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you're in the area and you want to do something really special for your guests, You can follow them on Instagram. You have to spell it out. It's MISTER Softy with 2 E's DFW. And go on there to give you information on if you want to have the truck come out to your event. And just remember, you say my name and you get like that $50 booking fee waived.
Say my name. Say my name.
Yeah.
So you have your own promo code.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Wow. Must be nice, huh?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Know.
And in addition to that, so that was, getting a shower ready. And I want to thank, Laura and Kay, who are, part of our podcast family. We met them on our very first podcast family vacation, which was at the Valentin Imperial. Alan and I went there for the first time on our first wedding anniversary. On our second anniversary, we were like, we see each other all the time. Let's invite some listeners to go with us. And Kay and Laura were on that trip, and they've become some of our dearest friends. And Laura helped me do the balloon arch for Rylee's shower, and her mom loaned me all these champagne glasses for the mimosa bar and an easel. And they were so helpful and made it so much easier for me to throw that shower. So I just want to thank them for that. But real quick, because I know you've got to get back on the road, and I've got a bajillion things to do. I've got to start pulling stuff out of the closet, seeing what I'm going to wear to Mexico, because I'm still operating on the assumption we're going, is I'm doing something super, super cool that I never thought in a million years I would be doing. I'm going to play 20 questions with the Kid Craddock Morning Show tomorrow. Yeah, to see if they can guess what I'm doing. But I am interviewing this person. Alan already knows who it is, so I'm not going to make him guess. I am interviewing in a fireside chat an iconic, historical figure involved in one of the biggest political scandals of all time. I am doing a fireside chat with the one and only Monica Lewinsky.
Gotta hit the applause.
I just did. Wow. I never saw that coming. I was a little nervous, but everybody's told me what a sweetheart she is. To prepare for it, I didn't realize Monica has a podcast. And it's called Reclaiming. And it's really interesting, and she interviews so many different. She's been doing it since late January of 25, and she's got such an eclectic group of guests. Some of them are so fascinating, and so I've been listening to that. I went back and listened to her TED Talk, which she gave, I think it was about 11 years ago, about the price of shame. How she was shamed for what happened to her. And I really feel for her because, she had the affair, she does talk about it, with President Clinton from the time she was 22 to about 24 years old, which, and I've always said President Clinton was sexy as hell when he was younger, man, and he had that charm. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Kelly, very much.
Yeah, he had that charm and charisma. He was the most powerful man in the world. And Monica said, I was never the girl that was chosen in high school. I was never the pick-me girl. I was just never chosen. And then to have the most powerful man in the world take an interest in you and choose you, what 22-year-old wouldn't fall victim to that, And I've had huge, massive crushes on bosses and people in power. There's just something so sexy about that. And when they flirt with you, it's easy to fall for that. But in my opinion, my heart breaks for her because she was just absolutely raked over the coals for, she wasn't even, her frontal lobe wasn't even fully developed. She couldn't realize the consequences of what she was doing at that time. For me, the biggest betrayal was her friend, Linda Tripp, recording her and turning on her and using that information, which that's the betrayal that I have a hard time with. It's like Tommy Jean doing that to me, Tommy Jean. And that would be the level of betrayal. So I just think that's an interesting story. But she went into hiding for the longest time. The fact that she survived that huge public humiliation is amazing. But you look back at it, there was no social media. This happened in 98. Facebook and all that stuff didn't start till after this scandal. So if social media had been around at the time, she might not have survived it. She truly might not have. But Google started the same time this scandal broke. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And she says she considers herself to be like patient zero for Google because people are wanting to know more and more information. So they're Googling Monica Lewinsky, blue dress and all that, So she had to deal with that. But she went away for about 10 years and did some work on herself. And the reason she came out of seclusion and is because, you remember that story? I can't remember the young man's name at this time. He was a college student, and his roommate filmed him being intimate with another young man and posted it on social media. And that young man was so humiliated and was bullied and cyberbullied that he ended up killing himself. And yeah, and she said that was the catalyst to get her to come back out and saying, that's enough. She was not cyberbullied. There wasn't that term at the time, but so she's been really an advocate for a safer space, an anti-bullying campaign. So it's really an interesting story, and I look forward to talking to her about that tomorrow night.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting, man.
Very deep stuff. You should really look into, if anybody hasn't. I mean, I know a lot. It's been over, 1998. It's been almost 40 years, right? 30?
What's the deal with the blue dress?
You remember, it had stains on it.
What kind of stains?
Oh, Alan, stop it. You know exactly what that was about. I don't want to make light of it. It was a very tragic, traumatic time.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a long time ago.
Yeah, you do. But anyway, I am curious. The thing about the blue dress that always mystified me is why you hold on to it. I didn't understand why you would hold on to that dress. Why wouldn't you go get it cleaned? That's what I didn't understand, but I'm not going to ask her about that. Anyway,
evidence? I don't know.
Why would she need that?
Really
but I'm not gonna ask her about that. That would be rude.
Yeah, I probably I wouldn't do that one. One thing I remember about Monica Lewinsky is though she had very nice hair.
She has nice hair. You know what, Alan? You were so right. I was watching that TED Talk. She has massive amount of hair. And now that she's older, now that she's older, she's in her early 50s. I think she's like 51. She has the most beautiful head of hair. I mean, just stunning. Yeah. So I'm going to get to see it in person. So anyway, that's interesting you noticed that because I did too.
She must drink lots of milk.
I don't know. I think it's just in the gene pool,
Yeah, good call.
Anyway.
All right, babe. Well, I'm ball hammering down I-45. I've got 1 hour and 9 minutes to the Best Western, 74 miles away. I got 33% charge in this thing.
Ooh, I hope you make it.
No. I got 56% charge. It'll be 33 when I get there. Plenty of charge.
Well, why don't you stop at a very nice, safe place before you get to downtown Houston and just charge that bad boy up?
Yeah.
That way you don't have to worry about it tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning. Yeah, I might do
it's
that.
Still light out. It's still light out. Stop at a safe spot and do that. Don't do that in downtown Houston.
Yeah. I was going to pack heat too, but I forgot.
Well,
I forgot my heat back home.
Well, then, let's stop somewhere safe and get that done. Okay.
Okay. Well, man, this is, we've done the phone podcast a few times, but, this is kind of fun. It makes the time go fast.
Yeah. We've talked for about 50 minutes, honey. Can you believe it?
50?
Yeah, almost a full hour. I helped you pass the time.
A lot of that was me talking about the golf. But,
that's okay. It was very entertaining for people who care about golfing.
Yeah. And
for people who care about you.
And breaking wind.
Yes. All right, honey. You got anything else?
No. I'm passing a Texas Roadhouse. One of my favorite social media right now is the Australian who is doing the series of restaurants he's going to in the U.S. He's a World Cup fan.
Yeah.
And he went on and on about how much he loved the bread, the free refills at Texas Roadhouse. And I saw he he did one where he said, not everything in America is like perfect. He said, me and my son booked a stay at this place called Super 8. And he said, we thought it would be a really great hotel because anything with the word super in it, it's like Super Bowl. It's going to be the best, right?
Oh, well.
Yeah, they didn't enjoy the Super 8.
Well, lessons learned.
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, I asked you that first. You got anything else?
Oh. All right. Well, love you desperately.
I love you. Happy anniversary,
Love our
sweetheart.
Happy anniversary. Yeah, 9 years. I can't believe it. That around this time, it's 7:00 as I look at the clock right now. 7:00. I think we were getting married right now.
Well,
right?
our wedding was at 6.
Oh, so we had just finished.
Yeah, we were probably wrapping up cocktail hour and getting ready to head into the reception. I don't know. We were taking pictures. I don't remember. The wedding started at 6. I do know that.
Where you saw one of the most mind-blowing magic tricks you ever saw.
Wow.
When I took you to the dance.
Right.
Huh?
Right. And the magic
Come on.
and the magic hasn't stopped.
Why do I feel like I'm being mocked right
No, I was saying something sweet.
All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
Love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
I love y'all.
Love the PGA Frisco desperately. Everything was great, except for the guy who came stomping down. But I love him desperately, too.
And we
I'm
love
sure
Trick
maybe he was
Rider.
just having
We love Trick
Maybe he
Rider.
was just having a bad day.
Yeah, we gotta give him
Trick Rider desperately.
Give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Hey, we love Kelly with the city of Frisco desperately.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
be
you,
real.
Kelly.
And we love Mr. Softy desperately.
And Susan.
And
And, Smallish Bites. And
and I-
Laura and Kay and
and-
everybody. We love everybody.
Yeah. We love everybody. And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.